Welcome back, everyone. This is Pastor Dan along with Jay Beach and the All Night Band. We welcome back Moses, writer of the Old Testament and the one who brought us the Ten Commandments. Just before the break we were talking about how what we commonly call commandments, Moses sees them more as promises rather than commands. Welcome back, Moses.
Well, thank you for that introduction, but I didn't write it.
What?
The Bible, the part you refer to as the Old Testament. You do realize that is a rather insulting term, don't you?
What? You mean Bible?
No. Old Testament. The promises of God are contained in both the Hebrew scriptures and in the Christian addendum to them. It is not old as in outdated, it is cultural and historic, showing the longevity of God's caring for humanity. And I didn't write it. It is the handiwork of God's love for humanity experienced by millions and written about by hundreds of storytellers, poets, minstrels, rulers and faithful followers through a couple of millennia.
But I thought Jesus came to replace the law of the Old Testament?
Not replace, but to fulfill or flesh out the promises, grace and intent of God's continuing revelation of grace in this world.
And what would that intent of God be?
Well, I believe Jesus, along with countless rabbis or teachers before him, put it this way: love God with your whole being and love your neighbor as yourself. We were talking about the 10 promises of God, the ones you call commandments. Well, the first 3 or 4, depending on how you count them, are about loving God and then transitioning into God loving us.
Can you explain?
Remember, the whole thing is based on treaty language. God promises to be our God and we promise to be God's people, and then there are several points to flesh out what that means. The first 2 or 3, depending on how you count them, call on us to show loving respect for God. Remember that there is only one God and we will not worship idols.
Not too many idols around these days.
Seriously. Look at the ads in the Sunday paper, watch TV for 14 minutes of programming and 16 minutes of ads. All telling us we are failures unless we have the latest and greatest, making all those must-haves idols.
Oh.
Oh, indeed.
And the rest?
We won't misuse God's name, and it doesn't just mean swearing once in a while, one smack of the thumbnail with a hammer and you blow that. No, it refers mostly to holding up God's name or scripture and then spouting a bunch of bull about judgment or prejudice or hatred. You know, taking a few quotes out of context and using them to beat down our gay brothers or sisters with some bull about hating the sin and loving the sinner. Good thing God doesn't use that approach on you.
Oh.
Oh, indeed. And then there is the gift of rest. Taking out a portion of each week as a gift of rest for you and for others.
Yes, it is a great day to just go out to eat or get some shopping done.
It's not all about you having your way, while those with the low-paying jobs go to work to wait on you. It is about paying them decent wages so they don't have to work on the Sabbath. It is about closing the ice rinks and ball fields and stores. It is about resting and refreshing time, not privileged play while poor work time. It is a gift to all people. All people.
Well, look at that. Time for another break. Stay tuned for a word from our sponsor, Christian Cruise Lines, with their new 7-day casino and shopping cruise throughout the Caribbean.
Oh my God, again?